So Trump is taking over Greenland. We're actually going to take over Greenland. We're either going to invade them and conquer them militarily, or we're going to just give them an offer that they can't refuse, which is just going to be a violent threat of invasion, and then they'll bend the knee. J.D. Vance and his fucking wife, Usha, went on a trip over to Greenland. And the thing is, it was supposed to be just like a tour for Usha because she actually is much more likable than JD. And they had this whole schedule planned for her to be touring around like a cultural tour, but JD decided to join in. And then they had to cancel most of the trip because the people of Greenland fucking hate J.D. Vance and Donald Trump, and they would just scream at them if they saw them in public because J.D. Vance and Donald Trump keep on threatening to fucking invade their nation, and 85% of Greenlanders do not want to be part of America. But again, we have a warmonger fascist president and a little cuck vice president who just do whatever the State Department tells them to. So we've got some coverage for you. We're going to be going through some videos. We're going to be talking about why, Putin is celebrating this. The United States and Russia have allied in order to harvest resources from Greenland and the Arctic because anything for profit margins, even if that means allying with an authoritarian, bloodthirsty dictator such as Vladimir Putin. Which, honestly, we shouldn't be surprised about considering Donald Trump wants to be exactly like him. Before we dive in there, let me just remind you to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. Again, guys, this is independent media. I have no funding. I never had to talk to a billionaire or an advertiser or a foreign government, and I need money, too. So if you want to help out the channel, there's a couple of ways that you could do that. You could buy some of this dope-ass merch below. You could use a 40% off discount on Ground News. You could become a member to the YouTube channel for $5, which will give you early access to the videos. And the Patreon just launched. We have a demagnification program on the Patreon. If you or a loved one is deep in the MAGA cult, fill out the PDF and we can help you demagnify your loved one. And I do mean that. We're going to be respectful. But regardless, let's just dive into this. So I think the first thing that we ought to start with is me turning on my fucking computer. I can't believe that. I can't believe that I'm not sharing my screen. There we go. All right, now that we're sharing our screen, the first thing that we want to talk about is just J.D. Vance's weird minute-long spiel, all right? It's just 60 seconds, so let's listen together.
And now I want to talk about...
This is in Greenland.
Of course, the interaction and what Denmark, I think, has done, and sometimes in partnership with us, but let's be honest, what Denmark over the last 20 years has failed to do in some cases, because we know that unfortunately this place, this base, the surrounding area is less secure than it was 30, 40 years ago because some of our allies haven't kept up. As China and Russia have taken greater and greater interest in Greenland, in this base, in the activities of the brave Americans right here.
He's lying. There has been no Chinese or Russian activity in Greenland. There are already 12 U.S. military bases in Greenland. We have U.S. troops in Greenland.
We know that too often our allies in Europe have not kept pace. They haven't kept pace with military spending, and Denmark has not kept pace in devoting the resources necessary to keep this base, to keep our troops, and in my view, to keep the people of Greenland safe from a lot of very aggressive incursions from Russia, from China, and from other nations. Now, President Trump...
Dude, the thing is, you don't give a shit about Russian aggression because we seen the way that you treated Zelensky in the fucking White House. You can't pretend like you care about Russian aggression, especially when Vladimir Putin agrees with you on this, bro. Look at this. Look at this, okay? Russia's Putin eyes Arctic cooperation with the United States. Cooperation with the United States despite geopolitical tensions. But listen to the quote from Putin. In a major speech on Thursday, Putin said U.S. President Donald Trump's stated intention to acquire Greenland was serious, and it was clear that the U.S. would continue to promote its interests in the Arctic. The Greenland question had nothing to do with Russia, he said. But Moscow was concerned that, quote, NATO countries in general are increasingly designating the far north as a springboard for possible conflicts, practicing the use of troops in these conditions, including their, quote, new recruits, Finland and Sweden, he said, referring to the alliance's newest members. Russia was monitoring the situation and building a response, including by boosting its military capabilities in the region. We will not allow encroachments on the sovereignty of our country, and we will reliably protect our national interests, Putin said. Now, we've also got Trump's take on this.
I think it's important. It's important from the standpoint of international security. And if you look at the ships outside of Greenland, you have Russia, you have China, you have lots of different people and lots of different places, and it cannot go on the way it is. It's not going to go on the way it is. I'll make a statement. It's not going to happen. So they're going there, and that's purely friendship.
Who's doing the invading?
A lot of people, yeah. People from Greenland are asking us to go there. We have
85% of Greenlanders do not want to be in the U.S.
many requests from many people, some officials too.
Not true. There's not a single official from Greenland that wants the United States that wants Greenland to be part of the U.S.
Yeah, sure. I think it's important.
So this motherfucker's lying. J.D. Vance is lying, and now we've got some details. Vance tells Greenlanders that they'd be better off being part of the United States. Vice President Vance told the people of Greenland they'd be better off being part of the United States rather than Denmark in remarks during a visit to the U.S. military base in Arctic territory. Guys, Greenland does not want to be part of Denmark, and Greenlanders do not want to be part of the U.S. Greenlanders want to be fucking Greenland. Well, how is this so hard to understand? Vance said Greenland has the right to self-determination and said he did not expect that the United States would forcibly annex the territory. I think that you'd be a lot better coming under the United States' security umbrella than you have been under Denmark's security umbrella, he said during remarks at Pacific Space Base. Our message to Denmark is very simple. You have not done a good job by the people of Greenland. You have underinvested in the people of Greenland. You have underinvested in the security architecture of this incredible, beautiful landmass filled with incredible people. That has to change, and because it hasn't changed, this is why President Trump's policy in Greenland is what it is. Vance said, Luigi, you gotta stop. You can't claw that up. Just trying to tear some shit up. Oh, my goodness fucking gracious. Now, here's the thing, guys. Do you want to know what... Like, this has nothing to do with national security. Do you want to know why J.D. Vance and Donald Trump and Elon Musk, you want to know why they want Greenland? It's because climate change and global warming is melting the ice. Okay, and the same reason why, Putin is so invested in, the Arctic regions, I'll show you right here. Russia possesses vast resources, including oil and gas within its Arctic region. Let me zoom in for you. And it is actively seeking to exploit these resources through infrastructure development and increased military presence, aiming to solidify its position as a major player in the Arctic. The Russian Arctic is estimated to hold a significant portion of the world's undiscovered oil and gas reserves. Ooh, isn't that significant? Because, wait, let's compare what happens to Greenland. Greenland's vast ice sheets cover a wealth of mineral resources, rare earth elements, critical for clean energy technologies, as well as other metals and potential fossil fuels. So we've got the rare earth elements, we've got critical minerals, we've got other metals, fossil fuels. Guys, this has nothing to do with national security. It's the same fucking story it always has been. Profit margins, oil. The same reason why we went to the Middle East, our little sandbox for oil, is the same reason why we're going to Greenland. We're going from the sandbox to the icebox. And if we got to fight a war over it, if young Americans have to go fucking die over it, they don't give a shit. Not the young Americans, of course, they give a shit, but... our leaders, they don't give a shit about us. If it means that we can harvest more oil, then we're going to fucking invade Greenland. This is why they say climate change isn't real. They know it's real, but they think of it as a good thing because every time the fucking ice melts, they get access to a new oil reserve. This is just evil. These people are demons. This is just evil, fucked up shit because, Trump and a lot of the people around him in the GOP, they're so old. They know they're not going to live long enough to see the consequences of fucking just allowing and expediting climate change to harvest minerals underneath the ice in Greenland and the Arctic. They know they're not going to live long enough to see the consequences of it, but my fucking kids are. Your fucking kids are. Oh, Jesus Christ. Peep the new Luigi poster, by the way. That's made out of blunt wraps. Shout out to my boy RJ for making that. Anyway, that's all I got for you today, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. Make sure to buy some merch. Use the 40% off discount on Ground News in the description. Become a patron, link in the description. And become a member for $5. All right, I'll catch you in the next one.